Look around your home right now. Look carefully. You have things sitting on your shelves, in your drawers, in the back of your closet that a Japanese person would have removed years ago. Not because they're broken, not because they're ugly, but because they've been taught for generations that some objects don't just take up space in your home, they take up space in your mind. And every day you keep them, they quietly steal something from you. Your peace, your clarity, your energy, your ability to breathe deeply in your own house. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 16 specific things that Japanese people never keep at home. And one of them, number 7, is sitting on 95% of Western shelves right now, being ignored so completely that most people forget it's even there. Number 12 has a specific Japanese word for it, and once you learn that word, you can't unsee it. And number 16, the last one, reveals something so fundamental about your relationship with every single object in your home that most viewers say it changes the way they clean, decorate, and organize forever. Stay with me until the end because I'm also giving you a simple 3-question audit that will tell you exactly which of these 16 items need to remove tonight. Let's begin. Before we look at the 16 items, you need one piece of context that makes everything else click. In Japan, a home is not just a place where you store your things. It is a sacred space that shapes your mind. Every object in it is either helping you become the person you want to be or quietly working against you. There is no neutral. This idea comes from 2 deeply embedded Japanese cultural concepts. The first is Mottainai, the spiritual understanding that every object has inherent value, and to keep an object trapped in your home when it no longer serves you is a form of quiet disrespect, both to the object and to yourself. Mottainai has been championed globally by Nobel laureate Wangari Maathai in 2005, and it forms the foundation of Japanese consumer and home philosophy. The second is the sacred concept of empty space. In Japanese aesthetics, empty space is not the absence of something. It is a presence. It is what allows the objects that remain to breathe, to matter, to be seen. A home full of objects, in the Japanese view, is a home where nothing can be seen properly. Everything competes for attention, and in the end, nothing wins. Together, these 2 concepts create the Japanese home philosophy. Every object must earn its place. Every empty space must be protected. And every day, the objects that no longer belong must be gently released. Keep this in mind. Every item on this list comes back to it. Let's begin. Number 1. Expired medications and old vitamins. Open your bathroom cabinet right now. You almost certainly have at least 3 bottles of medication or vitamins that expired months or even years ago. A half-used bottle of ibuprofen from 2021. A bottle of vitamin C from a cold you had last winter. Prescription medications from a family member who no longer lives with you. In many Western homes, expired medication accumulation is so normal that people don't even notice it. In Japan, this simply does not happen. Japanese consumer culture treats medication as sacred functional inventory. You have what you need, and when it expires, you remove it immediately. Multiple Japanese pharmaceutical industry reports document that Japanese households conduct regular medication audits, typically every 3 to 6 months, and pharmacies across Japan offer free expired medication return programs. There's a deeper reason too. Expired medication in your home represents unresolved illness, a memory of when you were sick, an assumption that you might be sick again. Every time you open that cabinet and see that bottle, your mind is reminded of an old version of yourself. Japan understands that your home should reflect who you are now, not who you were during your last flu. The shift. Every expired bottle in your bathroom is a small monument to a past illness. Japan removes them the moment they expire because your health lives in the present. Number 2. Chipped, cracked, or broken dishes and mugs. Look in your kitchen cabinet. That coffee mug with the small chip on the rim. That plate with the hairline crack. That bowl with the tiny piece missing. You've kept them because they still work. Because getting rid of them feels wasteful. Because you paid money for them once and it feels like a loss to throw them away. In Japanese homes, this pattern doesn't exist. When a dish chips, cracks, or breaks in Japan, one of two things happens. Either the object is repaired using the ancient art of Kintsugi, the practice of mending broken pottery with gold or silver lacquer, creating something more beautiful than the original, or the object is respectfully released. There is no middle ground of keeping the broken thing while pretending it isn't broken. The reason is spiritual as much as practical. In Japanese aesthetics, a chipped or cracked dish you eat from every day is a small daily wound. Every time your lips touch the chipped rim, your subconscious registers the imperfection. Every time you serve food on a cracked plate, you're subtly telling your family, this is what we deserve. Japan understands that the vessels you use daily shape how you feel about the meal, the moment, and yourself. The shift. Broken objects in your kitchen aren't neutral. They're small daily reminders that you accept less than whole. Japan either restores the object to wholeness or releases it entirely. Number 3. Old towels and worn-out linens. Open your linen closet. You almost certainly have towels that are threadbare, sheets that are pilled and thin, pillowcases with visible stains you can't wash out, blankets you keep just in case someone comes to stay. These items have accumulated in Western homes over years, sometimes decades, forming an invisible weight in a closet you rarely open. In Japan, linen management is precise and unsentimental. Japanese homes typically keep only what they actively use, a set of towels per family member, 1 or 2 sheet sets per bed, and a small emergency reserve. When items become worn, they are repurposed as cleaning cloths for a brief final life, then respectfully discarded. Why? Because worn-out linens represent stagnation. They represent the belief that you might one day need them, that guests might arrive, that a version of your life exists in which these worn objects are useful. Meanwhile, they take up space, collect dust, and silently drain the sense of freshness from your home. The shift. Your linen closet should reflect the life you're living now, not the life you might live someday. Japan releases worn linens immediately because freshness is a daily practice, not a stored possibility. Number 4. Tangled cables and electronics you no longer own. Open the drawer in your home where you keep miscellaneous electronics. You'll almost certainly find a tangled nest of USB cables, phone chargers for phones you no longer own, HDMI cables from a TV you replaced years ago, remote controls for devices that no longer function, and mystery power adapters that fit nothing you can identify. This is a graveyard of technological obligation. In Japan, this drawer doesn't exist. Japanese homes practice what could be called electronic hygiene. Every cable, adapter, or accessory belongs to a specific device currently in use, and the moment a device is removed from the home, its accessories are removed with it. The reason is practical and psychological. Tangled cables create visual noise even when the drawer is closed, because you know they're there. Every time you open that drawer looking for something, your mind processes the chaos and pays a small energy tax. Multiply this by every drawer, every day, every year, and the accumulated mental cost is enormous. The shift. Every cable in your home should belong to a device you actively use. Everything else is dead weight, and Japan removes dead weight immediately. Number 5. Multiple sets of decorative pillows on the bed. This one might surprise you, but Japanese bedrooms almost never contain the elaborate pillow arrangements common in Western homes. You know the setup: 2 sleeping pillows, plus 4 decorative pillows in complementary colors, plus a small accent pillow, plus a throw pillow that gets removed every night and placed on a chair, only to be replaced every morning. Japanese bedrooms strip this down radically, usually 1 pillow per sleeper, sometimes a single decorative element. That's it. The reason connects to the concept of sacred empty space. A bed piled with decorative pillows is a bed that has to be managed every day. It creates a small daily ritual of moving objects for no functional purpose. Japan understands that the bedroom should be the simplest room in the home because it is the room where your mind is meant to rest. The shift. Every decorative pillow on your bed is an object you have to move twice a day for the rest of your life. Japan asks, what is this really adding to my sleep? Number 6. Books you'll read someday but haven't touched in years. Look at your bookshelf. Now count the books you've owned for more than 3 years and have not read. Most Western homes have at least 15 to 20 books in this category. Books purchased with genuine intention, given as gifts, or accumulated during phases of life that have long since passed. In Japan, there is a specific word for this. Tsundoku, the practice of buying books and letting them pile up unread. Interestingly, Japan is one of the few cultures that has both named this behavior and developed a philosophy for addressing it. Japanese homes typically operate on a one-in, one-out book system. For every new book acquired, an old book must leave. The unread books on your shelf aren't just objects. They're small daily reminders of the person you thought you'd be, the version of you who was going to learn French, master gardening, read that dense philosophy text. Every time your eyes pass over those books, your subconscious registers a tiny failure, a promise you made to yourself and haven't kept. The shift, books that have sat unread for years aren't inspiration. They're guilt. Japan understands the difference between owning a book and being owned by a book. Number 7. This is the one I promised. This is the item sitting on 95% of Western shelves right now, being ignored so completely that most people forget it's even there. Free samples, hotel toiletries, and unused gifts. Open the drawer or cabinet in your bathroom where extras go. You almost certainly have a small collection of hotel shampoos from vacations years ago, free samples from beauty counter visits, small unused gift items, perfume samples, tiny lotion tubes, novelty soaps still in their wrapping, unopened toiletry gift sets from 3 Christmases ago. In Japan, this accumulation is nearly non-existent. Japanese consumer culture practices a strict, if you're not going to use it within the month, remove it principle. Hotel amenities are either used immediately upon returning home or given away. Gift items are either integrated into daily use or gracefully released. The psychological weight of this category is severe. These items represent frozen intentions. Every free sample is a "someday I'll try this." Every hotel toiletry is a "I might need this on a future trip." Every unused gift is a small guilt. The person who gave this to me expected me to use it, and I haven't. They accumulate silently because each individual item feels too small to matter, but in aggregate, they create a heavy invisible weight in your home. The shift, every free item in your home has a hidden cost, the mental space it occupies. Japan releases these items immediately because free never means free. Number 8. Photos and artwork in every corner. Walk through your home and count the framed photos, posters, prints, and decorative artwork on your walls, shelves, and surfaces. Most Western homes contain 20 to 40 individual visual elements, family photos on every hallway wall, decorative prints in every room, small framed art on every surface. Japanese homes are the opposite. Traditional Japanese design uses a specific concept called tokonoma. A single dedicated alcove or space where one artwork or decorative element is displayed at a time, rotated seasonally. The rest of the home remains visually calm. The reason is neurological as much as aesthetic. Every visual element in a room competes for your brain's attention, even in the background. A home filled with photos and artwork is a home where your visual cortex never truly rests. You may not consciously notice it, but your brain is always processing, categorizing, and low-level analyzing every image in your environment. Japanese homes prioritize visual silence, allowing your mind to rest properly at home. The shift. Your walls are speaking to your brain constantly. Japan understands that a quiet home creates a quiet mind. Number 9. Multiple sets of the same tool. Open your kitchen drawers. Count how many can openers, garlic presses, wooden spoons, spatulas, and cutting boards you own. Most Western homes have 3 to 4 versions of every basic kitchen tool, acquired over years, a nice one, a cheap one, a backup one, and one you don't know how you got. Japanese kitchens operate on strict, one of each principle. One high-quality knife instead of a knife block of 7. One good spatula instead of a drawer of 5. One cutting board instead of 3 of varying sizes. The reason connects to the Japanese concept of ikedugu, one tool. When you own one of something, you take care of it. You know where it is. You use it fully. When you own 5 of something, you take care of none of them. You can never find the right one, and each one degrades from neglect. The shift, duplication doesn't create abundance. It creates dilution. Japan owns fewer tools and uses them more deeply. Number 10. Gifts from people you no longer speak to. This one lives at a deeper emotional level. Look at your shelves, your jewelry box, your closet. You almost certainly have items that were gifts from people who are no longer in your life. Ex-partners, estranged family members, former friends, people who caused you pain. You've kept these items because the object itself is nice, or it feels wasteful to throw it away. In Japan, this pattern is treated with unusual clarity. Japanese emotional culture recognizes that objects carry the energy of the person who gave them and the relationship they represent. An object from someone who caused you harm continues to carry that harm into your home, every day, regardless of whether you consciously think about it. Japanese homes practice regular gift audits, periodically reviewing which gifted items still feel good to keep and which have become emotionally heavy. The shift, an object from someone you no longer speak to, is not a neutral object. It is a daily, invisible visitor. Japan understands that your home should only contain visitors you actually welcome. Number 11. Wedding gifts you've never used. Look in your china cabinet, your linen closet, the top shelves of your kitchen. You almost certainly have wedding gifts. A fondue set, crystal glasses, fine china for 12, a stand mixer attachment that you've kept for years without using. Some of you may have items from weddings that ended in divorce, still sitting untouched. In Japan, this category is treated with practical honesty. If a wedding gift has not been integrated into daily life within the first year of marriage, it is either given to someone who will use it or gracefully released. The reason is that unused wedding gifts represent frozen ceremonial expectation. They represent a version of adult life, hosting elaborate dinner parties, entertaining with fine china, using specialty appliances that you never actually became. Every time you see them, your subconscious registers the gap between the life you thought you'd have and the life you actually built. The shift. The life you didn't build isn't a failure. It's a wisdom. Japan releases the objects of an unlived life because the life you're actually living deserves the space. Number 12. Old journals filled with negative memories. This is the one with the specific Japanese word I promised. Open the drawer where you keep old journals, diaries, or personal notebooks. Most Western homes contain journals from periods of grief, depression, breakups, or trauma, kept because it's part of my history, or I might want to read them someday. In Japan, there is a concept called Kegare, spiritual pollution, that attaches to objects that have absorbed negative energy. A journal filled with the writing of your worst emotional periods becomes, in Japanese cultural understanding, a repository of that energy. Keeping it in your home means keeping that energy in your home. Japan practices spiritual cleansing of objects that hold negative memory. Old journals from painful periods are typically read one final time, honored for their role in your healing, and then respectfully burned or released. The shift: your history is inside you, not inside a notebook. Japan releases the containers of pain because the growth is already yours. Number 13. Clothing that no longer fits or reminds you of a past self. Open your closet. Count the items that no longer fit your body, either too small, from before weight gain, or too large, from before weight loss. Now count the items that fit but belong to a version of you that no longer exists. Clubbing outfits from your 20s, corporate wear from a job you left, athletic gear from a sport you stopped playing. Japanese wardrobe culture practices seasonal closet blessings, periodically going through the entire wardrobe and asking of each item, does this belong to who I am now? Items that don't are released with gratitude. The reason is that clothing is deeply identity connected. Every time you open a closet full of clothes that don't belong to you anymore, you're subtly telling your mind, you are not who you used to be. This is exhausting to process every single day. The shift: your closet should be a portrait of who you are now, not who you were. Japan understands that clothes shape identity, and identity requires clean edges. Number 14. Ex-Partner Memorabilia. This is uncomfortable, so let's move through it gently. Look through your belongings and find the items that belong to or came from a past romantic partner. Old letters, photographs, gifts, clothing they left behind, jewelry, shared souvenirs from trips. Many Western people keep these items in a box, buried in a closet, just in case they want to remember. Japanese emotional culture treats romantic memorabilia with rare directness. When a relationship ends, the objects associated with that relationship are typically released within 6 to 12 months, burned, buried, returned, or gifted to someone else. Why? Because these objects don't sit passively in a box. They sit as active, energetic anchors in your home. Every day they exist under your roof. They occupy a small psychological space that could otherwise be available for someone new, or simply for your own peace. The shift: you cannot fully move forward while the past is still living in your closet. Japan releases these objects because the future needs the space they are occupying. Number 15. Items inherited from deceased loved ones that don't bring you joy. This is the hardest one. When someone we love dies, we often inherit their possessions: furniture, jewelry, dishware, clothing, books. Many people keep these items out of profound love, obligation, and the fear that discarding them means discarding the person. In Japanese culture, this is handled with unusual grace. Japanese tradition recognizes that the love for a deceased person lives inside you, not inside their possessions. Items inherited that do not bring joy or serve daily life are respectfully released, often to family members who will use them, to charity, or through small honoring rituals. The critical distinction Japan makes: keeping an inherited object out of guilt is not love, it's fear disguised as love. The love for the person is complete and permanent inside you. The object is just an object. The shift: your love for the people you've lost does not depend on the objects they left behind. Japan releases these items with reverence because the love is already whole. And now, number 16, the last one. the one that reveals something about your relationship with every object in your home. Items you keep out of guilt for the person they belong to, not for yourself. Take a moment. Walk through your home mentally. Every object you can think of that you've kept for years without using or truly loving. Ask yourself one question. If this object could speak, whose voice would it use? Almost every difficult-to-remove object in a Western home belongs, energetically, to someone else. Your mother's china, your grandmother's crystal, your ex's books, your college roommate's gift, your children's forgotten toys they've long outgrown, your father-in-law's tools you inherited but never use. Japanese home philosophy makes a radical claim. Your home should only contain objects that belong to you, not to your relationships, not to your obligations, not to your past, not to your guilt. The moment you realize you're keeping something out of loyalty to the person who gave it to you rather than genuine use or love, that's the moment the object needs to leave. Because a home full of other people's guilt is not your home. It's a museum of everyone else's expectations of you. The shift. Your home is not a storage facility for other people's memories, gifts, or expectations. It is the space where you live. Japan releases these objects because you deserve to live in a home that reflects only you. 16 items. 16 small, quiet acts of release that, together, transform your home from a place that drains you into a place that restores you. Here is the 3-question audit I promised. Take it with you. Question 1. Would I buy this object today? If you found this object in a store right now at full price, would you purchase it? If the answer is no, ask yourself why you're keeping it. Question 2. Does this object belong to me or does it belong to my past? Every object in your home tells a story. Ask yourself, is this a story about who I am now or who I used to be? Question 3. If I removed this object today, would my life be worse or would it be lighter? If the honest answer is lighter, then the object is not serving your present life. It is only serving your past attachment. 3 questions. Apply them to one drawer, one shelf, one closet tonight. Watch what happens. Look around your home right now. Which of these 16 items are you most guilty of keeping? Tell me the number in the comments. And if this changed how you see your home, share it with one person who feels quietly overwhelmed by their own house. They might be one video away from finally releasing what's been weighing them down. See you in the next one.